Hi traders, this is ChartGal Lori with the swing report. Let's look at some swing names. Let's look at the market. Let's look at some high visibility names, see what's working, see what's not, and let's get started with SPY. So SPY closed the day with a daily inside bar, which happens really often after any type of Fed day. We had Powell, he spoke yesterday, created a large range, and we close within that range. But when we zoom out to the weekly, we can see the range of last week was approximately $17, and today we are 4 days into this week and our range is only $5. So we did make it to a new all-time high, but we have a tightening range. We're hovering above the weekly 8 EMA. It could be a bull flag on the daily. Why do we start with the market overall? Because it kind of gives us the tone of the market. If we're pulling back hard into the daily 21 EMA, which is around 382, then we would want to be a little bit more cautious with our swings. So let's look at some high visibility names. Let's get started with Amazon. Amazon is a name I've been pounding the table on. It is an absolutely frustrating name. This is the weekly chart. We have this tightening range. We had elevated bull volume the week of earnings. This week we are red. So we have this TTM squeeze where price is compressing. We're waiting for this volatility spike to the upside or to the downside, but we have this selling pressure, which typically comes after earnings when Jeff and Mackenzie Bezos can only sell after earnings. I don't know all of the particulars, but I know they can't sell for a particular range before earnings, but they can after. And this selling pressure happened last time after earnings. So that would explain what's happening this week. But again, we still have a solid bull structure. And as long as 3086 holds, this weekly structure is intact. And we have this beautiful weekly squeeze with price tightening. The next name I have on my list, Roku. Roku has earnings this week. Just a beautiful move. This may be a nice trade into earnings. So we broke bull today over this inside bar. We broke it by about $1.30, but we were unable to break the all-time high. So pullbacks to the 8 EMA on the daily may be buying opportunities for next week's earnings. This chart's looking really good. NVDA is probably the best chart on our radar, and I like showing you these names on stock charts as well. I don't know why. This was where I started with charting, and it just shows you so much clarity. Look at NVDA. Doesn't that look like Amazon with this weekly? This is the weekly time frame, this pattern tightening. We had this pop up over the Bollinger Band, RSI turning up, EMAs turning up, MACD turning up, bull volume turning up, everything that you want to see in a chart. This is just now getting going. So when we look at getting going, you know what I mean. So on the weekly, we have that squeeze that we love so much. We have earnings on February 24th. This is a chart that I want to be a buyer only. And I'd love to buy it back on any daily pullbacks to the 8 EMA, which is down at 571 right now. The bulls have so much momentum from this explosion of volatility from that price compression earlier that it may not come back to the 8 EMA in the short term, but this is definitely one of the prettiest charts that we have out there. Let's look at Amazon on stock charts to show you. This is the pre-NVDA look. So you see this weekly asymmetrical triangle. So we have this wedge, and then we have MACD turning. RSI is pointing down and the EMA is flat. We're waiting for that RSI to turn up, EMAs to turn up. Of course, it can always come in the form of news, upgrades, in which the chart kind of predicts that before the news ever predicts that. But again, it's just looking great. Fitch was a name from our swing report. We have this daily squeeze. This is just a beauty. We broke to a new all-time high today by 56 cents. We didn't get a lot of follow through, so I'd be watching that daily 8 EMA as well as a buying opportunity. The next name is Pins. Pins has this beautiful squeeze, and of course they had, look at this squeeze. This is gorgeous. They had the news of Microsoft potentially buying them. I'm not sure on the exact details of that news. We had elevated bull volume today. Again, this may be a buy on a pullback. And then finally, GLSI. When I kind of zoom out, this kind of a weird chart. Back in December, they had news. This is a biotech, and they do, in fact, cure cancer, according to their studies. So they had that huge bull break and move. in December. It's a low float stock, big spreads. Please, please caution. It broke over this 39.68 daily bull break. We really needed to get over the 43.70 and then the 45.45. I'm swinging a small position of GLSI. And that is it for our weekly swing report check-in.